had a very difficult night of sleep last night. It's not like me. I don't know what's going on. There is a very weird energy that is out there right now and was out there all night last night. I'm usually the first one to fall asleep, and I have no problem sleeping through the night. And I sleep easily 8 to 9 hours every single night. So for me to say that I had a difficult night of sleep, it's something worth noting. I fell asleep with the TV on. My husband was watching the SNL 50 show, and I woke up out of nowhere to the very beginning of Paul McCartney singing Once There Was a Way to Get Back Home. And I started to cry. I was barely awake and I started to cry. Something about that phrase hit me so deep that I was disoriented. I didn't know where I was, and it made me cry. I'm tearing up thinking about it. The emotions that were tied into that were just overwhelming. And then I had trouble staying asleep all night long. I felt like I had had several cups of coffee, but I hadn't. In fact, I had had my tea that helps me fall asleep before I went to bed. And I don't know why I had so much struggle last night. One of the dreams that I had last night involved me going through the process of losing my mother all over again. My mom passed away from cancer 6 years ago, and I had to go through that all over again. And it was awful. And there was another part of the dream where I was going to an event where my husband's friends were all gathering with their wives, and I was not welcomed or accepted. Even though I've been with him longer than most of them have been together, I was treated as if I was some outsider, and nobody wanted me to sit with them. And when I asked them why, they literally told me it's because they didn't like me. And I had to deal with that. And then I had another dream where I laid an egg. And I know that sounds really weird, but in my dream, I thought to myself, like, this doesn't make any sense. Why would I lay an egg? And then somebody came up and said, well, since you don't know how you laid an egg, then we need to take that away from you. And they took my egg. And when the egg hatched and it was a child, they kept that child. And I felt that that was completely unfair. And they're like, well, it's because you didn't even know you laid an egg. You don't even know how you laid an egg. You don't deserve to have this child. So it's ours now. These are the dreams that I had last night. And I know that there's a lot behind them, and I'm sure there's going to be people who come out with the symbology behind them. My dreams are not literal usually. They can have literal details in them. So, so for instance, if I'm dreaming about, say if I dream about like some kind of car wreck, there might be a car wreck, but the details in the dream, who it was that did it, the situation behind it might not have been what happened. But my mom is already gone, so I'm not really sure what that is all about. And my husband's friends are all divorced from their wives, and I'm not. And so there's that. And it's also, the egg. I don't lay eggs. So I think something very, very different and weird was going on last night. I checked the Schumann. It didn't, I mean, there was a blast, but I don't think that it lasted long enough to affect all of my dreams last night. I don't know. We'll have to see how this day goes out, but I'm a little bit cautious going into this week. I don't know where we're headed.